So we work with customers, partners every single day, CX leaders and people who run customer service all the time about customer journeys. And I think the starting place that we always encourage everybody to think about, including our own team, is just draw what you want. Like forget all constraints in the initial step and say, this is what I want. Like you say, I want to have dynamic web callback for people who are logged into my site the same way that Amazon does, for example. Or maybe even better is, some completely new algorithm that nobody has that you're thinking of. It doesn't make a difference, or it could be something that that's in the world that's really good. And that's your maximal vision. I would absolutely be unconstrained in thinking about that and say, that's what I want. And some of the best CX leaders I know, that's how they start, no matter what. No, zero consideration for problems in the world or what they have at the moment or anything. Then the second step is, well, you've got two kinds of constraint then that you have to think about, right? One is let's say technological, and the other one is whether you can get it into a process in your business fast enough to do what you want to do or in an appropriate way. And on the technological side, I think there's a really key distinction I see in people who do this really well, and they only accept technological constraints that are in principle constraints, like as in impossible in the world, or not the right way to do it in the world, and not constraints that are to do with the current technology they have or the current team that they have or whatever it might be. So what do I mean by that? So you should accept the constraint, like there is no way to make this IT infrastructure, this IT solution you want to build secure unless you do X, Y, Z. That can be a real world constraint. Like, if you dig into it and then you get to the bottom of it and you realize, okay, it would be, for example, in the web callback case, it is just insecure and opening yourself up to all kinds of fraud situations if you don't have a way to verify the customer's number before you offer the callback. That's not a constraint because of the tool you bought last or what your IT team can do. It's about the real world. So, and then nothing below that bar, like anything that is just is like, oh, we tried to do that, but it didn't work with the integration. It doesn't. That's just unacceptable, right? Otherwise, you're cutting down your vision that you painted out in the beginning just by some arbitrary constraint that is not really to do with reality. And nowadays, now you can do pretty much anything that you like with any component that you can use. So you should be able to do that if you're trying to build a really good customer experience. And then on the final thing, whether it fits into your processes, that's more complicated. So sometimes I think you do have to accept constraints. And it's right to do so. Why? Because maybe it doesn't fit with the company strategy at the moment. Maybe you just don't have enough funding to do the vision that you have. And there's a golden rule, in stages of a company is the right solution at the wrong time is just always wrong. Right? Doesn't make a difference. So it doesn't make a difference how in principle correct it is. But I still encourage everybody to go, and I try to do the same myself when on my good days, is vision first, is complete. Don't give a crap about anything. Then only in principle constraints. Then you hit a real constraint, fine. Then all right, so how would we do this phase by phase? Like what would fit with our current process, our current strategy, our current tactical constraints? And then figure out how to do that with an MVP, like a minimal viable product. And then you don't necessarily go to fulfill every single last use case of your vision, but you do it in a way that point B you're trying to get to in the end might become point C, D, or E, but you're in the A to B path you go on first gets you to a place that gets you to the end goal that you want to eventually. Whereas if you had constrained yourself in the beginning, then your point B that you choose along the path is not going to get you to the end goal that you wanted. Because how could it? You started with a plan that was never going to achieve the ultimate vision.